And we have a long list, which is usually the case. 1.5 minutes, how's that? John just asked 1 minute or 2 minutes, so just try to be, you guys have been very good about this, being brief. So Roger Pence, and then Becca Howie, and Scott Amick, and Cameron Justin.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm Roger Pence. I've lived on Beacon Hill for 25 years, and I think what we really have here fundamentally is a conflict between two public values or two public goods. Natural open space that exists for itself and active recreation areas. I'm all for a mountain bike park somewhere in the city. But there was no alternative analysis done to determine that this was in fact the best place for it. This project just emerged by its applicants. They selected the place, and nobody, including the Parks Department, has ever looked at anything else. So that's really the most frustrating part on my side. What I have come to accept, however, is that the train has left the station. This thing is going to happen. It's going to go forward to City Council, more or less as what we've seen. And those of us who would rather have it follow a different path are out of luck. In fact, the mountain bike advocates have already renamed the site. It's now the Beacon Bike Park. And you can go on the beaconbikepark.com website and find out all about what it's going to look like from their point of view. So, go to beaconbike.com, and now it links to another site with essentially the same information on it. It's too bad that we have to have this conflict. I think it could have been avoided had we gone through a normal alternatives evaluation at the site selection phase, and then we could have the both values represented here in the community. Thank you.
Thanks, Roger. Rebecca?
Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for having me here. My name is Becca Howie. I am a resident of Columbia City with a child in Mercer Middle School and another child in Orca K-8. For so many years I've lived in this neighborhood and drove by Cheese Day and had no idea it existed, because you can't get in there. And so I was so excited to hear about this pilot project moving forward a year ago. When the Park Board of Commissioners approved this, they saw this as, first of all, they approved a comprehensive trails network that did include cross trails, bicycle and pedestrian trails, because they saw this as an excellent opportunity to advance in tandem 3 values that guide the park's legacy plan: access, opportunity, and sustainability. It's really frustrating to hear that rhetoric of, preserving nature being in conflict with sustainability and in conflict with recreational uses, because the Parks Board recognized, and I recognize, and lots of people recognize, that these values actually are mutually reinforcing. By coupling the building out of a trail system, by having the stewards of that idea do it, by bringing the people who are going to use the trail system in contact with that natural area, they learn to love it. They will build the trails, they will take care of the trails, they will take care of the forest. In fact, I think you all know this is the second most popular Green Seattle Partnership site in the city already. There's incredible work going on in the forest. It's better than it was 5 years ago. It's definitely better than 10 years ago, and will continue to get better because of the trails. And so I look forward to this being the first phase of a comprehensive trail network that will be the pilot project. Thank you.
Thanks, Becca.
Hi, my name is Scott Amick, and I'm excited to be here in support of the trails in Cheesty Green Space, as I was last meeting. Mainly what I want to use my quick minute for is to clarify the active slide area that was mentioned earlier on Andover. At the last meeting, I heard a concern from a neighbor about this site. I went online, and in my business as a senior technical engineer for Selwyn Construction, I'm pretty fluent at looking at DPD records. Poor poor contractor, maybe poor design. This was an excavation of a basement for a townhome. I want people who hear active landslide, disaster, to go on MLK, at Andover, look a block or so to the west, and you'll see exactly what's being described. It's important in the report that Geotech does, and it's frankly shocking that he didn't have a quick reply. He needs to document in his report about the Andover slide that's happening, and it's yellow tagged or red tagged his house, because it can't be a source of distraction for the project. I went to the records in like 5 minutes, and DPD records, very evident. The records are online, and I'd be happy to email links to anybody who would like them. Just scott.amick@gmail, and that's all I want to say.
Thanks, Scott. Cameron, and then we'll have Judith Shoshana, Meryl Astazek, Mark Holland, and Alan Smith. Okay.
I'm Cameron Justin, and I'm going to address the point that Connie originally mentioned. The City Council ordinance passed into law last August is a directive to the Parks Department. Its purpose is to have a process that results in not disturbing a preserved wildlife habitat. The ordinance is not being followed by the Parks Department. The ordinance allows no interior trails, but only a perimeter trail. And it allows one trail, a multi-use bike and pedestrian trail, not dual trails. The Parks Department itself says a multi-use bike and pedestrian trail is not feasible. Regardless, the Parks Department continues to try everything to get around the directive. There is an interior trail in the design around the maintenance yard. There are dual trails. Where there is such aggressive energy to go against a legal directive, there is often a financial interest behind the scenes, and this is no exception. REI, the Evergreen Mountain Bike Association, and Joel DeYoung all stand to profit. They are all in the mountain bike business. This is an elephant in the room. Another elephant is that we are mostly white people talking to white people about an activity that attracts a limited group of white people in an area that is the most highly diverse racially and ethnically in the city. The ordinance specifies that community factors be addressed, and this has been avoided in the PAT process. Thank you.
Thank you. Judith?
Thank you. My name is Judith Shoshana. I live in New Rainier Vista, and I've lived there for 9 years. My house backs on the GC green space, and I love living there, and I love living, actually my house is, I can't quite tell from this map, my house may back onto one of the wet spaces, wetlands. But anyway, I just wanted to say I may not even use my minute and a half, and I'm a lawyer. I just wanted to say that I love it, and I'm very excited about adding these, the bike path, and I think it's a great idea to separate it from the pedestrian path, because that's what I'm hearing is appropriate. And I think that we ought to be doing it, and I'm glad that you all are here and ready to do it. So thank you.
Thank you. Mara?
Hi, I want to add on to what Roger Pence said earlier. This process is coming